Your room. Kisses and cuddles. And I eat two's papa.
Rylan, it's time for night-night.
So Jen put Rylan in his crib, and he didn't want to go there.
Mom! Mom!
Say nothing, Jen.
Mom! Mom! Mom!
I started to kind of feel anxious about the routine when I had to bow my head and basically ignore him.
She's doing really well. Rylan decided to climb out of the crib. Jen went back into the crib. And he just went mad.
When Rylan was just crying, "Mommy, Mommy, Mommy," it got to be too much at one point. I almost got up and grabbed him out of the crib.
Jen became very emotional and started to cry. Listening to her child call her name was just ripping her heart out.
Although it was only 25 minutes, it seemed like an hour. I honestly could not have done that without Joe. I was just so excited that
In this house. So tonight, I'm introducing the stay in bed technique with a little twist. Once you've read the children a story, okay, and you've said good night, they're in their beds, hugs and kisses, one of you is going to sit on the floor like so. Okay? And be completely still. When each one of your children come out of their beds, you're not going to give them eye contact. You're going to either look at the bridge of their nose or their tummy, and you're going to pick them up and you're going to place them back into their bed, and you're going to come back to position 1. Okay? Like so. And you're going to continue to do that until they recognise that each time you put them back, that is where they're meant to stay. Okay? I would normally teach this technique inside the house, but because it's so cramped in there and the boys sleep in the living room, I knew I'd be a really big distraction. So I had to think outside the box on this one. So I decided I was going to support Michelle by stepping outside the house and coaching her with a monitor and some walkie-talkies.
Okay, I'm in the other room right now. I'm coming out with the kids.
Please don't talk to me, okay? You're taking direction, the pair of you, from me tonight.
I was ready for anything she had, and I was going to follow it through. Wonderful day. Night-night, sweetie.
Softly, Michelle. Will take the book away and then go into the office or the bedroom.
Once Will and Michelle tucked the boys into bed and she started the technique, they started to test her straight away.
Ari's behind you now, do Ari. Remember, look at the bridge of the nose or his tummy. Keep going. Don't lose it with him, all right? And you're doing a very good job. Hey, stick with his crying. He's getting fed up with it now. Bear with it. Now he's got to the point where he wants to make you mad.
It was strenuous. It was frustrating. I'm hot. I'm sweaty. I want this to end because it's torture to me as well as to the boys.
Michelle, pull that strength out from somewhere, Michelle.
Pull that strength out from somewhere.
Okay? Keep going. I can see you're tired, but pull it from somewhere.
Take his other hand. Michelle, don't lose it with him, all right? If you start to pull him, he's going to know you're getting frustrated. Remember how they can read your signs?
I wasn't too sure whether she was going to give up or not when she started to lose her patience with the children.
No big deal. He's in the bed. He's doing marvellous, Michelle, I tell you. Absolutely marvellous. The kids are both in the bed at the moment.
Just drop that head down, shoulders shrugged, like you are completely cut off. Doing a good job, Michelle. Way to go, way to go.
Look at you. Way to go, you rock.
It was grueling for Michelle, but her patience really paid off. The boys are rarely in bed before 10:30, but tonight they were in bed by 9.
I was so glad.
At the same time, it's going to allow him to realise the importance of sleeping in his own bed.
Oh, look, and now they're cleaning the dish.
I wasn't nervous. I was, how long is it gonna take, and am I gonna be strong enough to keep putting him back in the bed?
Mommy.
The cook is over, and it's time for Tommy to go night-night. No, we don't need to put it in Tori's room. No, that stays Tommy's room. It's time for Tommy to go night-night. Turn the light off. Time to shut the light off.
Turn the light off. Turn the light off. You're going to sit on the chair, and when he gets out of his bed, you're just going to say nothing but place him back into his bed. Because Tommy's never slept in his bedroom before, it was important for me to use the sleep separation technique so that he would feel secure with her still being in the room. Turn around. That way. Okay, when he gets out of his bed, you place him back into his bed.
You know, it was a little bit difficult for me to not be able to look at him or say, you know, it's time to go to bed.
You've got to keep going, because he's fighting you in that bed.
Good job. You did a great job. I'm so sorry.
Dad, the second technique called the stay in bed technique. You're going to take your child by the hand, tuck him into bed, and say, "It's bedtime, darling." If they get up a second time, you'll say to them, "It's bedtime." And if the third time they get up and try and come back into your bed, you'll say nothing. I then gave Mum and Dad some earpieces so they could hear my instructions clearly on my walkie-talkie. And then I set up camp in the living room with my monitor.
I love you so much.
Okay, guys, let's turn the lights off.
I didn't know how the kids were gonna handle it, how I was gonna handle it.
I don't like sleeping in my own bed.
You know, it's been close to 5 years that this has been going on, so it's it's in their brain.
Jonathan fell asleep pretty quickly, so I got Dad straight out of there. But that's when the fireworks began.
Mom! Mom!
Aside from everything else, Mum was just worried that the screaming was going to wake up Jonathan, and then there would be 2 kids screaming.
I want to go in my room.
The worst part was that I couldn't talk to him.
Mommy, I want to tell you something. Mommy, I want to tell you.
I felt really bad that I couldn't communicate to him why this was happening, why I was doing this.
As you know now, he's desperate for the communication, but he needs to learn this is nighttime, and nighttime means no conversation. It means bedtime.
Oh, Mommy, Mommy. Give me a kiss, Mommy. I want to hold your hand.
Betsy, you're doing real good.
If Joe was not talking to me in the earpiece, I would have definitely crashed. I wouldn't have made it through.
If he's fully asleep, you might as well come out. After 90 minutes, both boys were asleep. But inevitably, they were going to wake up in the middle of the night like they've done for years. So tonight, when you retire off to bed, when the kids do come in, what you're going to do is to adopt the stay in bed technique.
Basically, we just hold their hands, walk them right into bed and say, "Good night, darling." And that's it. Second time, good night. Third time, nothing.
Yep.
Shortly after midnight, Dad got a chance to do the second technique.
Hi, how are you?
Remember the technique?
Come on. Come back to bed, come on.
Greg, you're not doing it properly. Remember, don't panic. You just be very quiet. You're like, shh, shh, you're doing all of this. Shh, shh, shh. You just take them and say, it's bedtime, darling.
Okay.
And tuck them into bed, okay?
And then Jonathan started to call Mum's name from his bed. And that's when Mum's heart started to break.
But can we go over there and like soothe him, even though he's in his bed?
Do you think that anything you do will soothe him? What do you think will soothe him right now?
If I give him a hug.
Do you think that's enough? What does he want? What soothes him?
Going to sleep in our bed.
Soothe him. And you walk out the room and he'll cry again. Because what he wants is in bed.
Right.
He wants your bed.
Jonathan came out, Ryan came out. Mum went in, Dad went in, Mum came out, Dad went out. I mean, it went on for quite a while.
Mommy, I don't like my room. I want to sleep with Mommy.
They were crying, they were upset. It was definitely hard. I didn't think it would ever be over.
I don't want to sleep in my bed.
These parents did stick with the stay in bed technique and they took the child back into their bed. The boys were finally in their bed and quiet for the time being. But it was around 2 o'clock in the morning and we were all pretty exhausted. Mum and Dad had done extremely well, but it was time for me to leave to see how they'll do without me.
I'm leaving you for a couple of days. Everything you've been taught, I want to see you guys implement. Seriously, if you guys do not do it while I'm away, you're going to go back to square one. If you have them in this bed tonight, you're cheating them, you're cheating yourself.
This family are depleted, sleep deprived. So it's going to be even more important that when I leave, they continue to do this technique. It wouldn't surprise me if when that front door shuts, those kids hear it and they're running back in that bedroom.
I'll see you in a couple of days. Give the kids a kiss for me when they wake up. You're welcome. I'll see you when I get back.
They do know full well what they need to do whilst I'm gone, starting from keeping those boys in bed tonight. The question is, will they have the willpower to do it?
Coming up on Supernanny. Will Mom and Dad get any sleep tonight? And John tests Mom's patience.
There are no lollipops.
When Supernanny returns.
This family had a lot to work on in my absence, and I really do hope that they've been able to stick with the techniques that I left them.
Good morning.
Hello.
I didn't know what she may hone in on, what she might say.
Are we ready to take a look at the DVD? Yeah, sure. That didn't sound too enthusiastic.
Throw it right at us, whatever you have.
All right, let's take a look at this. Bedtime after I went, okay?
Yes.
See you in a couple of days. Give the kids a kiss for me when they wake up.
I'm not gonna It's fine.
Have Mum put Brenna to bed and Dad the boys. The parents have to make that choice in creating the transition between day and night.
Can
I have a kisses?
Be back, Mom.
I love you guys. Good night.
Mum and Dad got the kids off to bed, but when they did so, the kids started to get up and run around, so I gave them a technique to help with this. This is what we're going to do. Brenna, okay, sleep separation technique. The sleep separation technique is to put your child into bed, to stay by the corner of the bedside, and to continuously put your child into bed without talking to them, and then move yourself further and further away until you're outside the bedroom. So, we ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Get into bed. It is bedtime.
The kids were sneaking up and down, and it really was a case of Mum and Dad having to stick with these techniques to make them work.
Leave this light off, or I am going to take the video game away.
Take the video game away. Shannon got Brenna off to bed really, really quickly, which was fantastic. And then it left her time to then help Sean with the boys.
He's laughing. He's just...
She was a major support for Sean when he was putting the boys down.
Me and Shannon didn't give up. We just kept doing it, and eventually they just gave up and fell asleep.
Finally, the kids did all settle and go off to sleep, which then left them time to enjoy the meal that Sean had prepared.
Sean had set up a very nice romantic dinner with candles, flowers. He had the lighting all set. It was pretty, and he had the wine, so that was great.
Free's kind of a crowd right now, so enjoy your dinner. We're going to sit in the middle of the two beds. Okay. On the floor. Okay. When they come out of their beds, I want you to turn around and say to them, it's bedtime. Okay. Okay? And place them back into their beds. The next time they come out of their beds, I want you to say nothing. Just place them back into their beds. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. And trouble started as soon as Dad started to get ready to leave the room.
Night-night. I'll see you in the morning. Okay? Hey. I'll see you in the morning.
I love you.
I don't want to go to bed.
All right. Mum sat on the floor in the bedroom and I sat nearby so I could coach her.
No, not out of the bed. Lie down.
You're talking, no talking. Okay. Just resume position.
Okay. In the bed. As a mom, you want to comfort them. So it was really, really hard not to turn around when they were crying and say, you know, Mommy's right here, you're going to be fine.
And then when Lily got out of bed, Luke saw this opportunity to leg it out the room. Luke finally settled and went off to sleep. But Lily, she was wide awake.
It seems like when you're sitting there that it's never going to end, but it did.
90 minutes later, both kids were asleep and Mum was finished.
Well done.
Because Aiden needs to sleep in his bed on his own. We went straight into the sleep separation technique, which is to place your child into bed without talking to them every time they get out of bed, with you remaining in the room.
Okay, Amy? Amy? You can do this. Do you hear me? You can do this. If he gets out, you put him back into the bed and you keep quiet, all right?
It was tough. It was tough for Amy.
knew it was great for her to be there to help me, but I just really wasn't ready to do it.
Every time he called her name, you could see she was just praying that she would find the strength to be able to follow through. She was very close to breaking.
Halfway there. It's about you growing that emotional muscle. Giving him what he needs.
I got kind of worried, wondering if it was good for him, just crying and screaming in his bed. I was really concerned with Amy, too. I knew it was tearing her heart out.
I think it took Aiden about an hour, but he did finally go to sleep, and so that was kind of rewarding.
Who put Aiden to bed tonight?
Me.
Sorry.
Me.
I'm very proud of Amy for sticking to the bed technique.
We've just crossed a milestone for you.
You did good, girl. Putting Aiden in his own bed was by far the hardest thing.
Everything inside me just hurts when I hear him cry. It was pretty awful because it was so hard, and I just wanted to turn around and scoop him up.
She's never had to experience something like this. She's never had to have this emotional disconnect with one of her children like this, and so I was a little worried that she was going to crack.
He knows how far he's got to go to get you guys to cave in, and he will go there. He will go there tonight.
Coming up on Supernanny. Crew pulls at Mom's heartstrings like never before.
My body just wants to go to him.
And later, Joe fights to get Dad's attention.
Turn your face around and look at me when I'm talking to you.
When Supernanny returns.
I was teaching Mum the sleep separation technique where she's adjacent to the crib and Crew will know that somebody is there and it's secure for him to sleep in his own bed. But Crew's not having none of it.
He's in the crib saying, "Mommy, I cry, Mommy. I'm dying." And I was bawling, and I'm like trembling because my body just wants to go to him. But after a while, Joe was sitting right outside the door, and she kept going, "You're doing it, you're doing great." I thought, okay, you know what? Joe promised me that the first night was gonna be the hardest, and if I could get through the first night, then it would be easier from there.
It's always hard as a parent to hear your kid cry. And for me, sitting out in the hall and knowing that my wife's in there, knowing how much she loves her kids, that was honestly the hardest part for me.
And she had done it. She held out. We did see Crew go off to sleep and Mum came out with victory smile on her face.
Good job, babe. Thanks. She did a great job. She followed the steps that Joe told her to do, so I was really, really proud of her.
Had to get up, please. Serious.
Even though after Kirby had fallen asleep, I was still an emotional wreck. I was shaking. That was hard.
Proud of you.
Going through it was murder.
Yeah.
But you actually have just broke a massive cycle that was creating a bad habit.
But I very much doubted that Mum was done for the whole night.
What'll happen is that he'll wake up in the middle of the night and he'll either wake up and cry or he'll wake up and he'll get out of his crib. And what you need to do is to go back in, resume the same position, have him cry, and if he gets out, go back to sleep again.
Jenny won the battle, but the war's just begun. In an hour or two, he's gonna get right back out and Jane's gonna have to go through the whole same process again.
In the middle of the night when I had to get up with him, that was awful. It's like I'm already tired and here's my baby crying, and I remember sitting on the floor just feeling like crushed almost. And Joe went and sat by the door. I don't know if she saw that I was, just really having a hard time, but she came in and whispered in my ear and told me, hold strong.
And sure enough, he went back to sleep. I think they've proven to themselves that they are capable of doing it. They've just got to be consistent to get those results.